All right. And folks, we are live. This is Sherman Ray. This is Black Success Magazine, the podcast. And doing a little bit of something different here. I find out every time I do this podcast is that I can do different things all the time. And it just never gets old. So it's just kind of a neat kind of thing we're doing here. Welcome, folks. It is, it's almost midweek already. I mean, it's just Tuesday, but we've already had some interesting things going on with the show. We've already had some interesting things going on in life in particular. But I think, I know some of you are looking at my new hat. I got my this is an old UNLV hat. I'm an old UNLV guy. And sure, some of you have been in Las Vegas for any length of time. I've been part of the UNLV thing ever since Tarkanian was there. So when we were the Running Rebels, we won the NCAA 2A championship, that kind of stuff. I mean, they go back a long way for UNLV. And so this is an old hat, and I love it. I love UNLV. Matter of fact, when we had our golf tournament just a couple weeks ago now, one of the players who was a former Las Vegas Aces, her name is Sequoia Holmes. She was a UNLV grad. So, I love that whole thing. You love the whole thing about UNLV. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about something that I really think that you as business owners really need to know about, really quick, right off the bat. So let's start with that story. And I had to take it down on my computer because the story was linked to some kind of weird virus of some kind. Oh, and if some of you have been trying to go to our website, blacksuccessmagazine.com, you found out that somebody's tried to hack our site. This has been bad. This is not good stuff, folks. I'll tell you right now, not good stuff where people try to hack your website. But somebody tried to hack our website. So we've got a ace guy on there who's working on trying to resolve that problem. So don't go to the site right now because you will get some kind of bug of some kind and it'll try to destroy your machine. But we'll let you know. We've got somebody working on it today. Hopefully they'll have that reserved by the end of today. I really hope so because this has been very scary. So the top story of the day is really about Facebook. Facebook, who owns Instagram also, what they've done, and this is something that really should be concerning to you. If you have a website and you've embedded anything off of Facebook onto your website, October 24th, it's going to be null and void. It's not going to work anymore. So you need to, and I know I don't have anything from Facebook embedded on my site. I actually will send things over to Facebook. But if you have anything that's embedded from Facebook onto your site, folks, you probably need to really take a look at it. You've got to go to Facebook, get on their developer page, that kind of stuff, and become a developer for Facebook in order for that to work anymore, especially October 24th. So if you are listening to this, if you're listening to this broadcast right now, take heed. And Facebook might have sent you, they probably wouldn't send you an email or some kind of notification that says, hey, you need to work on this because it's not going to work anymore. But October 24th, if you've got something from Facebook on your page, okay, if something from Facebook that's embedded on your page, it is not going to work October 24th moving forward unless you actually become a developer, you get an API, handshake, that kind of stuff that will make it work on your page because it's just Facebook or Instagram, to tell you the truth, because Facebook owns Instagram. And it's just kind of a sign of the times. It really is just kind of a sign of the times where things are going, where these larger companies that they say, hey, they don't want you using their stuff for free or anymore, that you can't use it. So it's really important. It's really important that, and we're going to talk about this in the next block too. We're going to talk about why it's so important for you as a creator, somebody who owns your own website or something like that, for you to really have everything pointing back to you. Okay, don't put anything on anybody else's platform that you're not going to put on your own platform, because you really need to build your content as opposed to building everybody else's content. Okay, so that's really important. So we're going to talk about that in the next block here, folks. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. We'll be back in just a minute. All right. All right, I'm going to try to go over to my other page here. All right, we're bouncing around all over the place, folks, here. So if you're watching us on Facebook, we're up live. The page is up all over the place, which is great. So I want to make sure that I can actually see my own broadcast. And they're not letting me. Okay, I'll get over here at some point. All right, so if you're watching me there, I cannot see you right now. I did something on Facebook and it's making it tough to see. So I'll figure it out at some point. Okay? All right. All right, folks, we are back. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast, and doing a lot of interesting things on the show today where we're kind of bouncing around, doing a lot of, I don't know, I'm doing a lot of technical things here today. Probably shouldn't be doing, but, you know, if you've got two hands, you might as well use them at every second you have, right? So, hey, so Black Success Magazine, we're really all about bringing you, you know, I don't know, the people, trends, that kind of stuff that will, it's going to really feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. We're really excited about the show. As a matter of fact, we're today we are moving towards launching like a Kickstarter account, and the reason why is because to launch a magazine, to really be effective on this kind of platform, you really need quite a bit of capital behind you. And I look at some of the people that are doing some fantastic things, and you could tell they've got $1 million budgets. I mean, they just have such prolific. You need writers, you need staff, you need video, you need all that stuff, and that's really where Black Success Magazine is going also. So we're very excited about that. So look for that coming up. That we're going to be doing a Kickstarter campaign, and get a part of it. Be a part of it. So we're going to ask you to be a part of our Kickstarter campaign. If you like what you're seeing, you like us on YouTube. You like us on Facebook Live, send us a note. Send us a note and say, hey, Sherman, I like what you're doing over there. Like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and just get on board with the success train, the Black Success Magazine train, and be a subscriber and help us out. Thursday, there it is. Right there. We are going to have on the show Thursday, and we just confirmed this with his publicist, Marcus Johnson. Okay, Marcus Johnson, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, Facebook, we're going to have Marcus Johnson on here for Thursday. So Thursday will be on the show. Marcus Johnson wrote this book called Flow for the Love of. Good book. I mean, it's really a very good book. And we're going to be going through some of this stuff. Marcus is an author, a publisher, a jazz musician. He's a lawyer. He's done some great things in his life. So we are going to be having him on the show on Thursday. So look for that, 8:30 in the morning. So we do the show every morning, starting about 8:30 in the morning. So Marcus will be on here. Looking really forward to that. And if you want to do any questions, get any questions to him, just send it over. Hey, we're going to be talking about branding today. How to achieve brand building through social media. And this is really very cool. And this is important. If you are somebody who's into marketing, or you're into your business more than just kind of a cursory thing, and you don't have a team working for you, this is where you're going to want to be at today. So one of the things that we talk about, and this actually came from socialmediaexplorer.com. Everything's like all over the place here in front of me. Okay, social media explorer.com. And I want to give, you got to give the guys props. So we're going to go a little long in this segment. So, because I really want to get this in. It's really kind of tough to say anything if you don't really, if you don't connect with anything else. Talking about branding. What are we talking about when we're talking about branding? Well, we're really talking about when people think of certain things, they want to think about your company. And that's what they call branding. The people, when they hear a sound, when they see a color, when they a smell or something like that, they're thinking about your company, and your company needs to establish its brand in order for it to be effective. So how do you do that in social media? Well, they give a couple of really good tips here, and one is called consistency. And so consistency over social platforms. There's one word you'll regularly hear people say when talking about branding and brand building, and that's consistency. It's the number one tactic for success on social media. And it takes work, dedication, and discipline. However, there are tools available to help reduce your workload. And before you get started on them, there are a couple of things you have to do. Start by writing your profile. Okay, your profile. Now, this is interesting because I have a lot of people who are part of Black Business Chamber who refuse to put their profile on Facebook. They refuse to put their contact information on Facebook, and I'm thinking to myself, well, how are you ever going to attract customers? So if I were going to start a business all over again, I would start with putting my name, my contact information, my brand, my logo, my website, how to contact me everywhere. You put it everywhere because you want people to contact you. If you don't want people to contact you, then, just don't go into business. I mean, you're wasting your time. You're just wasting your time. You need to let everyone know about what you are doing. You are going to be your first cheerleader in the world. So, and this is going on Black Business Chamber also. Tell everybody who you are, and do not be shy about it. Don't be shy about it. Let everybody know what you're doing. Put your email. If I don't have your email address, folks, as somebody who's the founder of the Black Business Chamber, then nobody knows who you are. That's all there is to it. No one, because if I don't know who you are, then how are you expecting other people to know who you are? Because I'll tell everybody who you are, but if I don't know who you are, if I don't have your email address, if I don't know what your logo is, and all of this stuff, then you don't exist. So don't waste your time, okay? So write your profile. Remember, it's more than just a brand description. It's where you begin creating the consistency that will run through your marketing campaigns. Okay, and I'm going to go through this a little faster because I'm running out of time. That should include your colors, your graphics, your fonts, your logo. Okay, they should always be consistent over every place you put this. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on YouTube, it should always be the same. Okay, the same fonts, the same colors, the same logo, all that stuff should be the same. Consistency over all of the different platforms. Instagram should never be like, I see a blue one here, I see a white one there, I see an orange one there, one with a girl with, so it should be very consistent throughout all of these platforms, okay? Number 2, designing a logo. Before discussing designing a logo, a quick word about why you need one, and it's really about consistency. When you see I don't have a color. All right, here's one. Okay, so for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, or you're watching us on YouTube, when you see this color green, what is the first thing you think about? Okay, you're probably thinking about Starbucks. Okay, because they are so good about their branding. They generally have the same color, and you have now thought about Starbucks and so that's part of what your logo should do also, is it should actually be very consistent about it. Okay, your logo is the most potent visual brand you'll ever use. And if it's done right, it'll be a cohesive anchor that ensures the rest of your content is instantly recognizable. Okay. If your logo is very, very complicated, it is probably not going to be picked up. People are probably not going to remember it because it's just too complicated. It is. The Nike swoosh, okay, it's just a swoosh. That's all there is to it. And it is very simple to see, and that's really part of branding. Somebody developing a logo for you should really have basically two colors in your logo. One of them will be white or black. The other one will be your color, okay? Because it needs to be as simple as it possibly can be. UNLV, I mean, that's just two colors. That's red, that's white. That's really what it is, okay? So your logo. I'm gonna go through this a little bit faster here because we're gonna run out of time in this segment. Number 3, brand, voice, and style. Your brand's voice and style will help determine how your brand is perceived. So it needs to be in the right language and tone for your audience. Otherwise, your content or any content you post might be misunderstood. Okay, your voice. Okay, so Black Success Magazine really is all about success. We don't come in all edgy and that's not us. We're just not edgy, and we're not trying to scare people. We're not, trying to put something out there that's really not us. Okay, we're very inspirational, aspirational, motivational. And that's really where we come out. That's why we don't get into a lot of things that other people get into. I hesitate to even say it because that's not where we're at. Okay, so anyways, we'll finish this up in the next block here, folks. This is Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine, and we'll be back in just a minute. Folks, Thursday, we're going to have Marcus Johnson. So take a look at it, folks. He's going to be on the show Thursday. You're going to love it. You're going to love Marcus on the show. All right, let's go back to the show, folks. All right, folks, and we are back with Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. And I want to thank you folks for being a part of the show today. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're with us on Facebook, you're listening to our podcast on Spotify or on any one of those outlets, you might be on, gosh, I don't know. There's podcasts everywhere. So anchor.fm, that kind of thing. Or you're going to our website. Don't do it yet because we'll tell you tomorrow. Really, it'll be up tomorrow. We'll actually have the website back up, and you'll enjoy it. So we're working on a book, and it's called How to Live a Truly Remarkable Life, along with the magazine, which will be coming out in November. Time is wasted. It really is. We've been working on a lot of projects lately, and as soon as we get the book out and we get the magazine out, it'll be so much easier because really. Those are like really big hurdles for us. Also, if you'd like to be a part of the show, folks, we really encourage you to be a part of the show. Like Thursday, we're going to have Marcus Johnson, who's going to be on the show. Looking really forward to that. Marcus, where do you live, Marcus? Because I know I'm going to have to look you up. I know you're East Coast. Oh, no, you were California. But we're going to have to take a look at you. The foreword of the book was written by Sheila Johnson. And Sheila Johnson's co-founder of BET. So I'm going to ask him questions about her. tell you the truth. I'm really interested in Sheila and what she's done and her husband, that kind of stuff. So Thursday, 8:30, Marcus Johnson will be on the show, so you'll be able to check him out, which will be really cool. So we're going through some of the branding principles, how to achieve brand building through social media, and so we've gone through a couple of them already, and let's talk about point number 4. Talk like a human. It says you can't build a brand on social media by selling your products. It requires a more subtle approach because users aren't there to hear a sales pitch. Social media communities only connect with genuinely authentic brands, and you do that by talking like a human. And after all, it should come naturally, shouldn't it? So I saw a brand where the guy was selling a shirt called Skull T-shirts. I think it's Skull, something like that. And he comes on and he goes, "Hey, you want this really cool shirt? Yeah, you want a Skull T-shirt." And he went through this whole thing. He was on a skateboard, and the shirt was actually didn't even have it wasn't even their shirt yet. He had a piece of piece of paper taped onto his shirt, and that's he was trying to build. He was trying to get money for his particular thing, and it was so cute. It really was. He raised several thousands of dollars on like Kickstarter, but people buy into and they don't want to be sold. They really want to connect with a person. And that's really kind of what it's all about. So don't come on there just putting your product out because people don't care about your product. They don't. They care about you. They want to know, like, trust you. Okay, that's really important. And number 5, tell a story. People repeatedly buy brands, not products. Okay, get that. I want you to hear that again. People buy brands, not products. And nothing sells better on social media than a brand with a good story. But here's the thing: people don't connect with brands, do they? They connect with the people behind the brand. Okay, that's the important thing about it. They connect with Ben and Jerry's. Okay, Ben and Jerry's is ice cream. Okay, it's no different than any other ice cream. I mean, it tastes good, but really, people connected with Ben and Jerry. Get it? Ben and Jerry is who they connected with. It wasn't just the ice cream. It was really they wanted to be cool. They wanted to be hip. They wanted to be like the Grateful Dead, that kind of thing. And that's why they connected with Ben and Jerry. So people connect with brands, yes, but really they connect with the people behind the brand. So you've got to get out there. You've got to just begin to talk. So, and if you don't talk, folks, it's very tough to sell a product. So tell your story. So what could your story be? I mean, your story can be, guess what? There's a great brand that is socks. Yeah, socks. And the guy, when he sells his socks, he goes, "Hey, guess what? I have this idea, this inspiration." There was or a shoe company also. And they tell the story and people go, "Oh, that's such a great story. I want to." And so you've got to do that. So think about that before you start just selling stuff online. People want to connect with you as a brand, but yes, they want to connect with you as a person. All right, let's take a break, folks. We went a little long in the last segment. This is Sherman Ray, Black Success Magazine, the podcast, and we'll be back in just a second. Oh, yeah. UNLV, folks. Love those rebels. We have more rebel stuff around here than the chicken stick. Oh, we're into the rest. All right, we're coming back, folks, to the show. Love this segment. This is a great segment. I really think you're going to get into this. All right. All right, folks, and we are back to Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. And I want to thank you, folks, for being a part of the show today. This is a good segment. I mean, especially if you are into marketing, you really want your business to be successful. This is a great segment we're talking about is how to build your brand online. And I think this is probably one of the most overlooked portions of marketing for people is because they figure out, you know what, I got this, this product or something like that. So some of you don't know what this is. Probably most of you probably won't know what this is. It's all right. But I used to be in the coffee business, okay? And I got this piece of, I'm sorry, that's probably terrible sounding on the microphone. But I got this particular thing from a company that has a great story. I mean, it really was. And what it is, this is actually just a kind of a, I don't know, it's a strainer of some kind, okay? But it looks cool. It's all, I mean, it's really a very cool looking thing, okay? Many of you can see this out there. It's a very cool product. But the cool thing about it, actually, this is a frother, excuse me. So, you know that little thing that you have, the milk foam that you have on top of like a cappuccino, something like that? That's what this makes. But the story behind this thing is better than the product. Because the frother, I mean, I can make froth pretty much out of anything. But the story behind this is the cool thing. And that's really what made us decide that we want to get this product because of the story behind it. And so building your story behind your brand is paramount. So if you want to do an experiment, you need to begin to do a couple of things. And I really encourage you to do this. Think about why you started your company. Did you start your company out of a need, out of that you saw some kind of need in the community or something like that? Write it down, okay? Write it down and say, okay, I'm going to incorporate that into my story into my sales thing, or as I present this as part of my brand, and everybody needs to know about why you're doing what you're doing. There's a couple of guys that are living in, because I won't get to the story, but I'll just allude to it anyways right now. These fraternity brothers, they actually saw that their town was being gentrified. Where are they at? Okay, they are in, I don't know where they're at. Okay, well, anyways, the two brothers saw that their neighborhood was being gentrified. And, gentrification means people are moving in who don't look like the people who've been living there forever. And these guys said, well, we're going to buy up a couple of blocks of the town, and we're going to, keep our neighborhood. What a great story. I mean, what a compelling story that is. These guys say, hey, guess what? We're going to do something to save our neighborhood. And what do people do? Yeah, we want to get behind you. We're going to give you money. We're going to put you in a national newspaper or a national publication because you have a great story. And that's really kind of what drives brands. Ben and Jerry's, I mean, it's just a great story. Starbucks, great story. All of these brands, these major brands have a story behind them. And because people love products, but that's not really what sells. Brands sell, but even more important than brands, the people behind them sell. So get out there, tell your story. Okay. Infuse a narrative into your updates. Incorporate elements of your story on all of your posts. Okay. So every time we do something with Black Success Magazine, we talk about, hey, we saw that there was no niche in the market. There was nobody filling the niche of saying positive things about Black folks doing things in the marketplace. So we put that in everything we do. Okay, and if we don't do it enough, we're going to do it even more. And use consecutive updates to build out your story. So we want to continue to add that and add those things into your story. Okay, we're going to go a little long on this because there's a couple more things here, and we'll probably end up with the show with this. But this is probably one of the most important things that you can do as somebody who's building your brand. Okay, incorporate your story into your brand. Every time you do something, do a little bit more. Add a little bit more of your story into it. Okay, if you started your business, let's say I started a business and I'm selling this. Okay, it's the best this there is. I'm telling my story, and every time I tell my story, I add a little bit more. Or every time I show this product, I'm showing a little bit more. and I'm showing a little bit more. Every time I do this, I want to show a little bit more of what this product did and how important it is to me. And people want that. They want to know that it's more than just a this. Okay, it's more than just a tube or whatever it is. It really means something, and it will mean something to them. Okay, it will mean something to them because they feel like they're part of something. There are people who buy this one bracelet. Because the guys, when they started the company because they wanted to clean up the ocean. They wanted to clean up the ocean. So what they did is they went and they hired the people in the villages around their area. I think they were in like Africa someplace. Don't quote me on that, but they hired villagers around the area and they had them scooping up plastic. So, and then they took that plastic and instead of just throwing it away in a landfill, they made bracelets out of it. And they're selling the bracelets. And what do they do with the bracelets after they sell them? Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna answer that because if I don't, it will just keep playing. If they don't, sorry. So what happens is if they, when they sell the bracelets, they use the money from the bracelets to fund more operations to do the same thing over and over and over again. So that's kind of what they do. And people get involved in this. Why? Because they're a part of something now. They're cleaning up the oceans. Oh my gosh, who doesn't want to be a part of cleaning up the oceans? Okay, your story could be the same thing. Your product can be the same thing. It could connect with people and connect on an emotional level that does something to people. We're not here just to sell products. We really are. I mean, we all want to sell products. Don't get me wrong. Okay, we all want to make money, but we want people to be a part of a movement, to be a part of a global thing that is going to propel your brand, propel your message to higher heights, and your story could be the one that does it. So I hope that's really kind of helped you. So use it all the time. Use it in whatever you're doing. And lastly, because we're running out of time, make it relevant. How often do you read content that isn't relevant to you? Never, right? Yeah, sure. Social media audiences are no different. The only way to engage your audience in a way that encourages them to promote your brand is by giving them content that they want to be associated with. And it goes back to the ocean thing. Okay? Really goes back to who doesn't want to clean up the ocean? Who doesn't want to save a baby panda, right? If you're into animal activism, that kind of stuff, give them something that is very relevant to them and that really speaks to them. So don't promote your product if you're into animal rights. Let's say you're animal rights. You don't want to promote that into a bacon factory. That doesn't work. Trust me on it. That's not going to work. Okay, so it's got to be relevant to your audience. Okay, and I think that's right. Keep it short, to the point. Always add a call to action. So call me. So folks, we're out of time. This is Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine, the podcast. I really appreciate you being a part of the show. If you like what you've seen, folks, I really encourage you, go to, don't go to our website right now because we've got somebody who's been trying to hack our website. Send me an email. Send me an email, blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. It's blacksuccessmagazine@gmail.com. And say, Sherman, I really want to be a part of the show. We want to help you. We want to encourage you. We want to support you in your show. And remember, folks, Thursday, we're going to have on the show Marcus Johnson, who's the writer of this book called Flow, For the Love of. Should be very, very cool. Anyways, we're out of here, folks. We've spent, we're going over time. So this has been Sherman Wright, Black Success Magazine. We will talk to you soon. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30. Bye-bye. All right. That's a wrap, folks. Thank you for being a part of the show. We'll be back again tomorrow for another fun-filled show. So I thank you so much. You can get the podcast on Spotify, and we'll leave a link to it right below me here at the show. So you can pick that up, spread the love. It's been Sherman Wright. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.